What's your background, Joel?
Hey, how you doing, Sam? I'm Catholic.
All right. What's going on?
I was going through the Old Testament again, and I came across Leviticus 2:11, and I just had a question.
From Obed to Joel Lamos.
Say it again.
Aren't you Obed?
No,
Oh, no.
I'm not. No. I'll be someone.
Oh, I thought it was you. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what about Leviticus 11, brother?
So it says, every grain offering you bring to the Lord must be made without yeast, for you are not to burn any yeast or honey in a food offering presented to the Lord. Now, from watching your sessions, I've learned that leaven or yeast could be a reference to sin.
Could be, right?
Or is. And I was just wondering, if the yeast is there, I get that wouldn't be part of the offering, but so then why the honey?
Say it again, brother. You confused me.
So if yeast is a reference to sin, I get why that wouldn't be part of the offering.
I'm going to give you $10 million where I said that leaven always means sin. This is why you're dangerous. Joel, you're dangerous. You know that, right? You know why you're dangerous? You hear someone say something, and you read into what they say, and you run with it, and you end up with heresy. Who said that leaven always has to mean sin?
Nobody.
So why do you assume that if there is leaven, or if there is no leaven, that somehow leaven implies sin? No. Leaven doesn't always imply sin, Joel.
Okay.
So when the Israelites ate leavened bread, they were eating sinful bread?
No, yeah, okay. Then, yeah.
No, but let's go with you, Joe. I love you, brother. You know I love you, Joe. Let's go with you. I love you, but I don't think you love me as much as I love you. But my point is, who said that leaven always means sin, brother?
No.
Man, this guy, Ethan, is one ugly dude. Damn. Can I get GoFundMe for plastic surgery? Now, so what was your question?
Also, I guess the question is now, why not the yeast or honey? Why can't it be part of the offering?
Why? Okay, here, let me call heaven. Hold on. No, I haven't called heaven in a long time. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. No, hold on. So when God says, I want you to, bake a certain way, or I want you to offer a certain animal, a specific animal for a specific sin, or a specific offering that has to be this way, not that way, and you're wondering why? Okay, hold on. Let me call heaven 1 second. You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me see. I'm glad you're ready. You're ready to go. Okay. Let me know when William's going to go live and bore everyone to death. Okay, hold on. And she's man, they always have that elevator music. And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Sounds like the line's busy.
Oh, now they got beat it. Maybe that's prophetic. They're trying to tell me you got to beat it. Remember, these songs on earth, they're sanctified in heaven. Beat it. I think it's trying to tell me this guy's got to beat it. All right. Darren, man, this is the first time in my life they sent me to a voice message. I can't believe it, man. I thought I had connections, dude. It went straight to voice message and says, sorry, but because of the amount of calls we've been receiving in light of the Israel-Iran conflict, we are unable to get your call right now, but please leave a detailed message and tell us who this call is for, and we'll try to return your call as soon as possible. All right. Man, dude. Brother, don't read too much into what you're reading, because if you go to Leviticus 2, God delineates certain sacrifices and offerings, and he is free to tell you how he wants you to offer it.
No, yeah, I understand that.
I don't think so, because you read too much into the leaven. All right, no leaven, because, that means sin. So I don't want sin in the offering. And so then honey has to have a meaning too. So when John the Baptist ate locusts and honey, was he sinning when he ate honey?
I guess not, no.
No, but come on, let's go with that logic, mister. All right. When anyone brings a grain offering to the Lord, their offering is to be of the finest flour. They are to pour olive oil on it, put incense on it, and take it to Aaron's sons to the priest. The priest shall take a handful of flour and oil, together with all the incense, and burn this as a memorial portion on the altar, a food offering, and an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is the most holy part, right?
Yeah.
Of the food offerings present to the Lord. If you bring a grain offering baked in an oven, it is to consist of the finest flour, either thick loaves made without yeast and with olive oil mixed in, or thin loaves made without yeast and brushed with olive oil. If your grain offering is prepared on a griddle, it is to be made of the finest flour mixed with oil, either without yeast. Crumble it and pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. If your grain offering is cooked in a pan, it is to be made of the finest flour and some olive oil. Bring the grain offering made of these things to the Lord. Present it to the priest, who shall take it to the altar. You shall take out the memorial portion from the grain offering and burn it on the altar as a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to the Lord, or Aaron and his sons. It is the most holy part of the food offerings presented to the Lord. Every grain offering you bring to the Lord must be made without yeast, for you are not to burn any yeast or honey in a food offering presented to the Lord. That's it. You may bring them to the Lord as an offering of the first fruits, but they're not to be offered on the altar as a pleasing aroma. So the very next verse says, you can bring a grain offering made of yeast and honey as first fruits, but not to be offered on the altar.
Right.
Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God, and of your grain offerings add salt to all your offerings. So there will be a deeper, richer, spiritual, theological significance, but it's not what you think.
Okay.
Because you think yeast or leaven means sin always. No, it doesn't, man.
Okay.
That's not the meaning. But there are meanings behind why you add incense to it and oil to it and the salt. There are significances, but it's beyond the scope of this discussion. But don't read too much into, well, see, Sam said leaven always. No, I didn't say always. I go in certain instances, because now let's take the analogy. Leaven spreads, right?
Right.
Do you want sound doctrine to spread?
Of course.
So then you can use leaven positively. You can use leaven to mean sound doctrine that needs to spread and permeate the entire batch.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful, mister.
Okay. Thank you.
So is that it? That's all you need?
I mean, I had some other questions, but it would be the
Related,
same.
or what is it about?
Yeah, same Leviticus, same offerings. It would just be the same.
Sorry, then we'll come back when I do some Leviticus. So when you ask your question, I can block you.
Okay.
Okay, brother. God
All right,
bless.
thank you. Love you, Sam. Take care.
Hey, did you guys like it? First time my phone call went to voice text. All right.